This was called Grievus and Levia. The previous chapter was called the naval battle between... I don't remember the other chapter. I'll just type it here. Soon after, Grievous' ship arrived at his cave hideout. His henchmen unloaded a heap of gold and silver treasure from the ship, carrying it inside. Is this something they plundered from somewhere? So Grievous and his men were pirates. Ah ha ha ha! You saw Levia's pathetic face too, didn't you? Soon the feast began. The sailors laughed cheerfully, and a drunk Grievous downed his drink. I'm just glad that all worked out somehow. You guys, that was amazing. What's that strange power in those golden fish? I'm blown away. Their impressive performance earned their recognition as Banryu and Njord were also invited. Banryu? What's going on? Are you feeling unwell? It's not that. I just feel at this point there's no way I could face Lord Seldor. Even though we helped Grievous and Admil, we interfered with Lord Seldor's ancestor, Levia. No problem. I'm sure he'd forgive you. Besides, we need to think about what to do here now. Yeah, that's right. For now, it would be best not to reveal our identities. You just said Banryu, Njord, golly. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm Hakuto, and you, Njord, will go by Njord. And as for our occupations, we'll say we're fishermen or something. I see. Grievous occasionally laughed with his henchmen, oblivious to their hushed conversation. We've got some really amazing people joining us, don't we, Captain? We absolutely do. Come to think of it, we haven't heard of your names yet. What do we call you? My name is Hakuto. I'm a fisherman. Me too. I'm a fisherman. My name is Njord. Fisherman? Sounds like a lie. You're not agents of Levia after all, are you? That's enough, Grievous. If it weren't for these guys, we'd have been captured. I was just kidding. I don't really doubt them anymore. Banryu and Njord were relieved inside, but Grievous continued to speak. By the way, you guys, you seem quite skilled. There's actually something I wanted to ask you. You wanted to ask us something? Yes, and if it works out, I might even let you join us. Join you? Oh my gosh! Why is Njord always like this? If you don't want to, that's fine, but in return, you'll be dropped in the waterfall pool, got it? Seeing their expressions, Grievous sensed they were hesitant to join him, so he threatened them. Hakuto? I know, but if we stay with these people, we might find a clue how to get back on our own time. I know, but if we stay with these people, we might find a clue how to get back to our own time. Taking advantage of Grievous looking elsewhere, Banryu whispered over to Njord. So what do you say? Are you in or are you out? Fine then, we'll cooperate. I mean, we're in. Banryu said this firmly, to which Grievous laughed cheerfully. Straight to the point, I see. Now there's something I'd like to show you guys right away. Saying this, Grievous pulled out a large nautical chart. And this is a chart of the Kusan area. It said Balza Island, located here, holds a treasure from a great pirate. Did you say Balza Island? But there are plenty of powerful monsters there. A frontal assault would be practically impossible. But it'd be a different story if someone could distract them. Don't you think so? I see. So that would be our role. That's right. And I saw it. Your power would be useful here. Saying this, he turned his gaze towards the horde. My power? You mean those golden dolphins? Dolphins? You mean those fish? No, I mean the little boat. We can get to the island on that ourselves. I see. So when it comes to the monsters, ordinary people would only be hurt more. Perhaps offended by Banryu's words, Grievous frowned and spoke threateningly. Let me tell you, these guys are willing to risk their lives for me. Don't underestimate them. But they are important to me, having followed out the sea. Some have families too, so... I'm sorry, I have no intention of looking down on your subordinates. Seeing Banryu bowed his head obediently, Grievus also calmed his anger. We'll be heading out tomorrow morning. Make sure you're ready by then. Understanding their silence as affirmation, Grievus returned to the party with his henchmen. The feast was over, with drunken pirates sleeping sloppily all around. Banryu and the Horde were essentially alone together, with no one watching them. Banryu. Sorry, Njord, I got you dragged into this. Don't worry. More importantly, when you heard about Balza Island, your expression changed. But what's up? Balza Island is one that no longer exists. Rather, it doesn't exist in our timeline at least. And that shipwreck, it's probably the same place where Grievous' ship sank. Oh my gosh, so that ship is going to become the shipwreck that we know of? Which means, if we're here, we might be able to stop that tragedy. I don't know, but it's worth a shot. That's why I think I will accompany Grievous. You're gonna Bro, do you not realize how much harm you're going to do if you change this timeline? There was a reason why that ship sank. Look, listen, I know for a fact that, I know this is such a big conflict, and oh my goodness, I cannot believe it, but it's gonna sacrifice the entirety of the past. Who knows? The freaking demons might actually somehow defeat the late king, or there might not even be a king. That's why it's such a risky thing to do, Banryu. You gotta think about this true, man. But I do have some questions, like why is Grievous engaging in piracy? I see. In that case, why don't you ask Grievous directly? That would be difficult. If we anger him now, it'll be troublesome if he didn't end up taking us. Well, we can't afford that. Saying this, Banryu turned his gaze to Admil. A distance away, he continued drinking in good spirits. May I have a moment? Sure, you two have similar style to myself after all. Similar style? That emblem. You guys are wearing it just for fun, aren't you? Oh, this is, I like you guys because we have the same style. I'll answer anything you want to ask. Well, why are you doing such things as this? He asked directly after a moment of hesitation. Admiral then laughed heartedly. You're the type to ask difficult questions straight away, huh? Oh, sorry. Well, whatever. I'll teach you as a thank you for helping us. However, what I said has to be a kept secret. Admiral lowered his voice as if to whisper. Actually, Levia and Grievus are long-lost brothers. No way! Is that true? Impossible, but now that you mention it. Those two do both resemble Lord Seldor in a certain way. Banryu, that is not in a way. Maybe that's just me. I haven't heard it directly, but I have seen that Grievous is of noble birth. The story goes that when they were babies, they were separated in an accident at sea. Levia returned to his parents, but Grievous was shipwrecked on a poor island and grew up with pirates. And he was helped by a kind pirate who taught him survival, and that's how he became who he is. I see, but piracy is certainly not something to be praised. It was a reproach that slipped out of his mouth, but Admiral did not get angry. Actually, Grievous only steals from the rich and pirates who extort money from the poor. Besides, we give everything to poor villages. Our companions are aware of this in following us. We even find reasons to defeat monsters and protect the sea. I also help out with that, supporting them. Protect the sea. Since Levia founded Kusan, the poor surrounding islands are under control, and poverty has decreased. However, Grievous continues to extend the support even to villages outside of Kusan. Levia knows of Grievous' achievements and is trying to recruit him as a member of his crew. But Grievous has refused. Not only that he holds a grudge, in fact, he's grateful. I guess it's just probably stubbornness. I see. So the reason we were being chased earlier was... Yeah, actually, it's meant to bring Grievous back to Kusan. So that's why they were holding back when they were fighting so as to not take anyone's lives. This whole thing isn't just a treasure hunt, so there must be some bigger reason behind it. Another reason? What could it be? Don't know, but it seems Grievous is leaving all us behind and going to the island with just you guys. It must mean dangers involved, and he really values his longtime comrades. Don't be so distant. We're comrades who've shared both good and bad times together. Saying this, Admiral gulped down the drink he was holding. So we'll be counting on you guys. Yeah, understood. Banryu and the Horde met each other's gaze and nodded in agreement. This is called Dagura Meraken's attack. The next day, Banryu and the Horde set out on Grievous' ship to explore Balza Island. Okay, from here on out, it's just the three of us. I'm leaving the rest to you all. Yeah, be careful. Grievous returned a defiant smile and signaled to Banryu and the Horde. Roger! The group approached the huge cave at the entrance to the island in the Horde's boat. Be careful, it's about the time these monsters are gonna start to appear. As if that were their signal, monsters suddenly appeared. There they are. Okay, I'll leave these guys in your hands. I'm gonna go on ahead by myself. You really sure about that? Yes, according to our informant, for some reason, there are no monsters on the island. I'm counting on you guys, but don't die. When I get to the island, make sure you're waiting on the boat. With these words, Grievous swung his sword with great force. Get out of my way! Rah! Grievous cut down the swarming monsters as he headed towards the cave. We'll be going to Njord. Okay, Hakuto. Oh, we don't need codenames now anymore, do we? Ha! Banryu concentrated his magic power into his arm and released it with all his might. His magic unleashed that light, directly hitting the monsters and easily blowing them away. Next! Ha! It continued to emit light in rapid succession, defeating monster after monster. But the monster showed no fear and kept coming one after another. My turn next! Njord brandished his beloved staff as countless golden dolphins were unleashed on the monsters. He thrust violently at the monsters. Those struck and enveloped in the light vanished in an instant. It looks like we're almost finished. Banryu looked around and confirmed that there were no longer any monsters around. It seems Grievous has arrived safely at the entrance. Let's follow after him. Wait, wasn't our mission to be bait to attract the monsters? Then we cannot protect Grievous. We must defeat all the monsters. I see. Then let's go. The two nodded at each other as they hurried towards the back of the cave. There certainly are not many monsters around here. Just as he was muttering this, Grievous sensed a presence behind them, turning and raising his sword. It's us, don't worry. Oh, it's you guys. But why are you here? We'll fight too. Huh? Are you saying you don't think I can defeat them by myself? That's not true, but there's always a chance something could happen. We just don't want you to die. Tuh, what a disgusting bunch. Why in the world would you go to such lengths for me? Well... Grievous frowned as if he had noticed something as Banryu stammered. Could it be? Admiral? He must have told you to help me out or something like that, huh? That bastard, overthinking things again. I'm gonna beat him up when we get back. Surely you haven't heard anything else, have you? That nosy bastard. Faced with a sharp gaze, Banryu inadvertently confessed his true feelings. Admiral was worried about you. And about your birth and your relationship to Levia. What? We heard you were born into nobility and are Levia's brother. And that you are acting as pirates to protect the seas. I'm sure Levia wouldn't want you to die either. We promised Admiral that I would keep it a secret, but I suppose we had no choice. Tuh, that Admiral bastard doing unnecessary things again. Just go home! No, we will not go back. Grievus, we cannot leave you alone. Wanting to go further is just my own selfishness. I have no obligation to make you risk your lives. Do you really need that treasure that badly, even if it's to help the people of Kusan? The treasure is just a pretense. They say there's a terrifying, dangerous monster egg up ahead. Really? Then your objective is... Yes, if that thing is born, it would be a disaster for the people living around this island. So we have to do something about it now. Hearing this, we cannot possibly leave you alone. Yes, me too. You guys have been talking like you know something from the start. Who exactly are you? As Njord's gaze questioned what to do, Banryu's heart was violently shaken. If we carelessly reveal this, it may have negative consequences for the future, but... At this rate, we won't be able to keep Grievus here. Bro, you letting Grievus alive without him leaving in the ship sunk is already damaging the future. Golly. Hey, say something. We are from the future. What? After much deliberation, Banryu finally spoke the words that revealed the truth. He really said it. Oh my goodness. Well, yay! Banryu, you literally screwed everyone up in Vestria. I mean, to be honest, the master just appearing there is also kinda questionable, but you know. My real name is Banryu, and this guy here is Njord. We've been lying to you up until now. We're so sorry. From the future? Grievous' eyes opened in astonishment at the completely unexpected answer. Yes, that's why we know what we know. That you and those on that ship will be killed by monsters on this island, and your ship will sink. What did you say? And then 1,000 years from now, those monsters will reappear. And they will be defeated by me, my subordinates, and our comrades. But what if we defeat this monster right now at this very moment? Banryu, you have... well, we'll see what happens now. Change the future? We could! Banryu gonna screw up the timeline, golly. Do you guys even understand what you're saying? It's understandable that you can't believe it. I myself can't believe the situation either. But I think that our coming here is the result of some sort of great force at work. Grievous, please. Please, trust us! Grievous gazed intently into the eyes of Banryu and Njord, who were staring back, and murmured, "There's no way I could believe a story such as that." Grievous, but your eyes do not seem to be lying. And the clothes you're wearing and those strange devices, I've never seen them in this day and age. And that emblem, it looks similar to the picture Admiral came up with. I thought it might be a coincidence, but it's too similar. Could you really be from the future? Grievous, please trust us. As Banryu and Njord stared at him with serious eyes, Grievous, who had been silent, let out a deep sigh. Okay, I'll go along with that for now. Really? You believe us? So then, Grievous, if we were to accompany you, do as you please, but I won't be responsible for whatever happens. Just don't hold me back. Understood, Grievous. Following Grievous, who was leading the way deep into the cave, Banryu and Njord also walked off. What? After a while, the trio arrived at what appeared to be the deepest part of the cave. Grievous, this road is a dead end. Yes, but it looks like this is our destination. Where Grievous pointed, there was a gigantic object that was not a rock. Its slimy surface eerily wriggled. This is a monster egg. Looks like we made it in time. Let's quickly smash it before it's born. Yes, let's go, Njord. Alright. As the trio braced themselves to unleash their respective techniques, a violent tremor shook the grounds. What? An earthquake? No, this is Grievous, the egg! A crack appeared in the egg right before Banryu's eyes, and as it split, a gigantic monster emerged. The Dagura Meraken. We didn't make it in time. Banryu, it's a huge Meraken. What the? It's huge, and this form is even more ferocious than the one we saw before. Hey, you guys, didn't you say you beat them up before, huh? That was a story about the future. But this one is even bigger. No, it's the biggest. Ignoring the bewildered trio, the giant monster rampaged, burying under the ground. Bastard, you're trying to run away? You wait right there. No good. This cave is about to collapse. Get out! We need to get away from here! Hurry! Faster, faster! Damn it! Phew, we managed to escape before the cave collapsed. Oh my gosh! The island has almost completely collapsed! Hey, what the? Damn it! What the hell is with this monster? The Meraken, who had gone outside before the trio, had now attacked Grievous' ship. The sailors under Admiral's command fought desperately, but to no avail against the Meraken. Damn it! Is this all my fault for doing something so unnecessary? This is no time for that, Njord. The boat! Yes, sir! All aboard, Grievous. Let's defeat him! Yeah, let's go all out and make a big splash with this guy! Ah! Admiral skillfully cut off Meraken's tentacles with his weapon, the ocean ladder in hand. Oh my god. Meraken let out a roar of anger and extended his tentacles further. Heya! Admiral threw the ocean ladder with a burst of energy. From the furious rotation, Admiral's powers, along with the water, sliced through Meraken's body. Meraken cried out in pain, but showed no sign of flinching and continued towards the ship. Damn it, it's not working at all! Their attacks were ineffective against the monsters as the crew members screamed. And just then... Sorry, we're late! Oh, Grievous, are you alright? Admiral threw the rope and Grievous caught it. Climb aboard, we can't fight him from here. Roger, now Banryu, Banto, you too. Njord looked at Admiral and the other sailors and corrected himself from calling Banryu by the wrong name. Njord, you go on ahead. I'll attack him from underwater. Njord nodded and began to climb the rope, following after Grievous. Get down! Calm down, you monster! Admiral threw his ocean ladder again at the monster that was about to attack Njord. Several of its extending tentacles were cut off all at once. Now's your chance! Thanks! As expected of Admiral, but that monster's not to be underestimated. The monster seemed to flinch for a moment, but... What? His tentacles are regenerating immediately! Then this time it's my turn! Banryu put on his goggles and jumped back into the water. Not a single of your tentacles will be allowed to touch this ship! Ha! Here we go! Banryu restrained Meraken as it tried to extend its tentacles towards the ship. Don't be scared, while Akuto holds him off. Fire off all the cannons! Meanwhile, Grievous ordered his men, having returned to the ship, to aim the cannons at the monster. That target is his gut! Focus on that one spot, and fire! With a thunderous sound, multiple shells struck Meraken directly, and it seemed to be defeated. Did we do it? But when the smoke cleared, what appeared was a completely unharmed Dagura Meraken. Damn, it had no effect! Then it's my turn! When the horde swung his staff, golden dolphins leaped out of the sea as if being spat out of the surface. The golden dolphins charged towards the monster with great force, kicking up water. The Meraken, having been hit with one slam after another, let out a cry as its body trembled. Okay, let us keep pressing the attack! Seeing that Meraken's momentum had been stifled, Banryu went to press his advantage. Ha! Clad in a wave of energy, he sliced through the waves, unleashing a harsh collision on the monster. The monster's voice cracked as its sharp groan of pain echoed. Oh, it's working! I don't know if this monster... if it's the monster that killed me, but it's surprisingly weak. The sailors cheered and everyone was certain of their victory. But what? The monsters emitted a powerful aura and countless tentacles raised their heads. Whoa! The sailors recoiled at its imposing presence. Tentacles then extended and entangled them. You bastards! What do you think you're doing to my subordinates? Oh, damn it! This is no good! Grievus, Admiral, and even the Horde were caught in the crossfire and captured by its tentacles. Njord! Grievus! Admiral! When Banryu surfaced, he saw his comrades suffering, held captive by the Dagura Meraken. Guys, damn you monster! The anger towards the Meraken for capturing the Horde and the others swelled within Banryu. Oh! Banryu charged at the monster from underwater, unleashing his furious rage. I won't let you. Never again will you do something like that. It was because of me that I lost my comrades, my precious friends. I got arrogant, overconfident in my own strength, ignored danger, and went out in rough seas. My good companion, Bans, who accompanied me, died in a shipwreck, taking my place. At the time, I swore I would never let anyone die in front of me again. Ah! Meraken let out a roar of anger and twisted its massive body as if to shake off Banryu. Even when swept away by the massive waves that erupted, Banryu's anger did not subside. I won't let you! Never again! I won't let you kill a single person! With firm resolve, a powerful magical energy once again filled Banryu. Whoa! The magic power released from Banryu through the amplification device became a beam of light. It gathered into a pillar of light, dyeing the sky gold and transforming into a single staff. When Banryu emerged from the water and landed on the surface, he had the staff, pointing it at the monster. I won't let you hurt my comrades, my fellow countrymen! A dazzling golden light, symbolizing the intensity of his rage, struck the monster with great force. Unable to withstand the intense wave, the Meraken loosened its tentacles and released its captives. Thanks! He literally did all that and you all have to say is thanks, Njord! Damn it! You saved us! You guys are all okay? Yeah, all thanks to you. Okay, this time we will definitely defeat him. Once again, Banryu raised the golden staff in his hand and pointed it at the monster. As Supreme Commander of Oceare, I'll protect everyone! This is called Supreme Commander Banryu. You guys, let go! At Grievous' signal, the crew began firing their cannons in unison at the Meraken. Meraken let out a roar of anger, shaking its massive body. I've got this! Ha! With the Horde's determination, his magical power rapidly increased, transforming into shining light. Okay everyone, lend me your strength! In response to the surge of magical power, his staff glowed swells. Then the light poured down on the surrounding area with countless golden dolphins appearing from it. When the Horde waved his staff again, the dolphins followed his movements, gathering around the ship. It was as if golden waves were crashing all around. Alright, here we go! The golden dolphins became giant waves, ramming into the monster one after the other. The golden waves created by the dolphins broke into flurries, violently shaking the Meraken's body. The monsters, having suffered fatal damage, stretched out its tentacles in desperation. That's not gonna happen! Admiral quickly turned the rudder, making the ship turn sharply. The monster's tentacles narrowly missed. The Meraken cried out in a frustration after his attack was dodged. Banryu then delivered another blow. Ah! Its massive body trembled from the impact as the monster's voice took on an even more pained tone. It's working! It's working! You guys, we're almost there! Fire! At Grievous' command, the cannons fired again. The monster's groans clearly indicated pain, and victory was in reach. Everyone was certain of this. However, the monsters roared and leaped high into the air, its massive body looming over the ship as it attacked. What the? We're completely trapped! At this rate, the whole ship will be destroyed! At this rate, my dolphins won't be able to attack either. The moment Banryu hesitated, the sound of waves echoed. Oh, it's Levia! Zerkades! Suddenly, one of Levia's ships appeared from the side. Zerkades, keep going ahead! At the same time, Zerkades, with Levia on his back, charged forward as to impale the monster. Zerkades' powerful charge connected, and the monster's massive body was lifted into the air. They did it! The monster's gone away! Damn it, that Levia had to go and show up at the last moment. Gotta hog all the attention now. Just as I'd expect, Levia. Now's our chance! Banryu raised his staff and braced himself. To protect what is important, his comrades, with only that in his heart, he gathered his magical power. I dedicate all of this power, all my magic, for all four of my comrades, for Oceare! As if responding to his feelings, the staff brilliance increased even further. Ha! The light, reminiscent of the Oceare crest, transformed into a huge glowing chain, forming a dragon. Responding to Banryu's heightened spirit, the dragon swirled above his head, gleaming intensely. The sky began to cloud over, lightning flashing occasionally as if summoned by the dragon. A blue shining dragon floated above Banryu, protecting him. It was as if Banryu's feelings had taken shape and burst forth, a breathtaking, powerful force. You who dare harm Oceare, my comrade! In response to Banryu's magic, which was at max, the blue dragon stared down at the monster. Light burst from the dragon's mouth, illuminating its surroundings. You shall be judged! With overwhelmed emotions welling up inside him, Banryu charged towards the enemy. The blue dragon, with its entire body, unleashed a powerful magical attack which exploded on the monster. The monster's body was severely damaged by the tremendous impact, but... Huh? Bro, this monster's still alive. The monster groaned in agony and clung to Grievous' ship once again. Damn it, this guy's persistent, so you're not just going to go and die, are ya? This is bad. The ship can't hold any longer. We're sinking! Move over here! Hurry! As Levia brought the ship closer, he called out in an imminent voice. At this point, we have no other choice. Hey guys, hurry up and jump on to Levia's ship! At Grievous' command, the crew members hastily jumped onto Levia's ship. Hurry up, everybody! Okay, everyone's escaped. Damn it, I never thought we'd end up taking refuge on Levia's ship. After seeing his subordinates had escaped, Grievous also made his final leap onto Levia's ship. And as if on cue, the ship began to sink into the sea, the monster's death those fading into the depths. The ship sank, but we were able to save Grievous and the others' lives. Grievous. Just as Levia spoke to Grievous, showing concern for him having lost his ship, a voice rose from among the sailors who were still stunned after being rescued. What's wrong? What happened? We're short. I can't see the ship's doctor anywhere. What you say? Come to think of it, he stayed in the cabin until the very end to treat the injured sailors. Without listening to him finish, Grievous turned and looked at Levia. Sorry, but I'm leaving the rest to you. Hey, Grievous! Ignoring the calls to stop him, Grievous leaped into the sea. Oh, sorry. Well, maybe... Okay. Grievous, we're going too! Alright! The two of them followed suit and jumped into the sea. Grievous! Levia, can't we use Zerkerdis? It's impossible. The seas are getting rough. If we use Zerkerdis now, the ship would be destroyed. The wind was strong and the waves were crashing hard. Zerkerdis was shielding the ships from all this. It can't be helped. Grievous, please come back safe. On the ship lying on the seabed, Grievous was desperately searching for his comrades. Hey, where are you? Dr. Yabu! Soon after, Grievous found the ship's doctor in a dazed state. Hey, are you alright? But there was no reply from the ship's doctor. Damn it! Don't you dare die on me! I'll save you right now! Grievous attempted to escape from the sunken ship, carrying the exhausted ship's doctor. On the way, following him out of concern for the two of them, Banryu and the Horde, relying on the Golden Dolphin's sense of smell, found the pair at the ship's exit. Grievous! You guys, come at the perfect time! Take care of him! Alright, leave him to us! It was at the moment that Njord tried to take custody of the ship's doctor from Grievus. What? The monster groaned and with the last bit of its strength extended its tentacles towards the doctor. Hey, Njord, take him! Got it! Grievus quickly entrusted the ship's doctor he was carrying to Njord. At that moment... Oh, shoot! Ah! Meraken's tentacles then pierced Grievous' body. Grievous! At the exit of the sunken ship, the hull, shaken by the Meraken's attack, lied on top of Grievous. Meraken! Are you still alive? The monster seemed to have run out of strength as if collapsed limply and sank. But at the bottom of the deep sea, out of Banryu's sight, a part of the monster separated. As if it moved from the main body, the monster shrank to a tiny size, almost like an egg. Grievous, stay strong! Never mind me. More importantly, take care of him. The ship's doctor is safe. Grievous! I see. Grievous seemed relieved by Banryu's reply and lost consciousness. Grievous! Damn it! Njord, get the ship's doctor! You surface first! Got it! You hurry too, Banryu! Njord made an immediate decision and began to surface, carrying the unconscious doctor. Banryu reached out his hand to the hull of the ship that was leaning over Grievous. Ah! Banryu lifted the hull with all his strength, rescuing Grievous from underneath. Grievous! Banryu then carried the unconscious Grievous as he surfaced. This is called Oceare Legends. As the sea began to get seriously rough, Njord surfaced, carrying the unconscious doctor. Where am I? Did you save me? The ship's doctor, having regained consciousness atop Zerkadis, looked around. No, I only carried you here. It was Grievous who rescued you. Our captain? Right, where is he now? At that moment, Zerkadis pushed Banryu and Grievous onto the ship. Captain! As Banryu laid Grievous on the deck, the crew rushed over. Njord, get Grievous! Leave it to me! Njord began to perform life-saving measures on the limply lying Grievous. I swear, I'll save you! Never, ever give up! Me too! He said this as he ran towards him, but his feet got tangled and he stumbled. You need to rest for now. Leave him to us. Wake up, please! Please, please do something! Come on, I'm begging you! Save Grievous! Both Levia and the surrounding crew members gazed at Njord with prayerful eyes. But Grievous' heartbeat was rapidly weakening. No, wait. Grievous! No, absolutely not! I will definitely save you! Njord continued to take measures while crying out in an anguish. Then suddenly, Grievous grabbed his hand. I kinda accidentally sound like Admiral when voicing Njord. Golly! That's enough. It's no use anymore. Grievous smiled quietly, his breath fading. It was the expression of someone who had realized their own death was imminent. Grievous! Why you? Levia gently placed his hand on Admiral's shoulder, who was left speechless. Everyone present realized that the flame of Grievous' life was about to be extinguished. The sailors could be heard sobbing, and one by one they fell to their knees. No! 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 This can't be! Njord was determined to continue trying to save his life in order to fulfill his mission. As Grievous said, you did well. Banryu gently grasped Njord's hand and held it back. But this... I can't take it. Banryu gently put his arm around Njord's shoulder, whose voice was trembling. Not a single person dared to speak. The air was heavy, and even the sound of the waves sounded mournful. I had a clear mission. I was supposed to have come here for that reason, but still. With Njord shedding tears beside him, Banryu stammered out these words. But I was still unable to save you, Grievous. I am so very sorry. How could this happen? What are you talking about? Grievous smiled faintly and turned his gaze towards Banryu and the Horde. Grievous. Do you have any idea how many crew members were saved because you guys came? Losing comrades was the hardest thing for me, and to be able to avoid that. Grievous, And besides, I myself was spared from becoming fish food. Breathing heavily and in agony, yet still smiling, he desperately uttered these words. Instead of being reduced to a skeleton at the bottom of the sea, I could be seen off by everyone. Yes. The reason you came here, you have fulfilled it. Surely. So, you can go home now. Grievous. I wonder if that's really true. What was the point of us coming here? Admiral, I'm telling you this too. Oh, I'd like to hear it. Admiral nodded vigorously, having made up his mind. I owe you a lot. Please, take this. Think of it, in place of me. Grievous offers his sword to Admiral. Oh my god, he's becoming a sacred. Golly. Grievous offers his sword to Admiral. Grievous! We've been through a lot, but you were a great friend. Thank you. Grievous then turned his face towards Levia. The island, the past, a lot has happened, but now, I just want to thank you. Grievous' voice was getting hoarser and weaker. You came, and we were saved. Thank you. Please take care of my most important comrades. Understood. I swear my life on it. Levia fully received Grievous' uttered feelings as if he were squeezing out the last of his life force. And then... Grievous smiled gently, exhaled his last breath, and slowly closed his eyes. Quietly and softly, his heartbeat stopped. All wept in silence, deeply mourning his passing. As the long night ended and the sky began to lighten. Alright, Levia, we should be taking our leave. Right, be careful on your journey home. And thank you for what you did for Grievous. Of course. Yeah, goodbye. Banryu and the Horde said goodbye to Levia. Banryu said nothing, and even Levia couldn't have imagined that they had come from the future. But he chose not to ask anything as he kindly saw the pair off. Returning to the sea in the Horde's boat, the pair headed to the place where they first appeared. Was it around here? Seems so. Saying this, Banryu raised the staff he was holding. Grievous, it was a pleasure to be able to meet you. Thank you. With gratitude in his heart, he concentrated his magic power into his staff. A light appeared at the tip of the staff he raised, and it began to rotate like a whirlpool. Let's go home, Njord. Alright, home it is, Banryu. The pair nodded at one another before jumping into the vortex of light. For a moment, they lost consciousness. When they came to, they were both in the water. Wonder if we actually return to our own time. Should be nothing to worry about. A boat approached the pair as soon as they surfaced. Noticing that the ship bore the emblem of Oceare, Banryu and Njord both smiled. Lucaro? What did you do, Lucaro? Oh, could it be? Banryu and Njord? Hey, we found him! Oh goodness, I forgot how to voice this dude. Looks like they're both still alive. And Joe! Here's the rope. Grab a hold. Oh, thanks. Banryu and the Horde were pulled onto the boat with a lifebuoy that had been thrown to them. You guys... Oh, it's the Resort Environmental Security Corps. You saved us. So it was you guys after all. Well, no worries. You the only ones? Where are the other Oceare members? They've been searching the entire sea around there with all their resources to find you guys. But even so, they're still short-handed, so Lucaro asked us to help out. Lucero did, huh? Everyone was working incredibly hard. No days off, just worried and looking for you. We need to get back quickly, so they'll be put at ease. I see. Those guys, I suppose I should thank Lucero too. Right? Also, Resort Environmental Security Corps. You did well. Thank you. At Banryu's words, the three exchanged glances, smiled and quickly prepared to return. So glad to be back, in this era, with my comrades. Banryu told himself, reflecting on it once again. I will protect them, as this era's supreme commander of Oceare. This world, Oceare, and my precious friends, no matter what happens, I will protect them. The Horde smiled back at Banryu, who had made this firm vow in his heart. The ship, carrying the two who shared the same feelings, sped towards the harbor at full speed. And then, in the Kusan of the past after Banryu and the Horde had left, a few days had passed since Grievous' passing. Oh, this was in their era. I see, so you really are leaving. I owe you a lot, but being a high-ranking Kusan official, this is too much. I'm truly sorry. So instead, you'd like to travel the world on a free sea voyage. That certainly seems more like you. I also want to make the continuation of the nautical chart I've been drawing along with Grievous. Also, I know the crew well, as do the people of the island that Grievous has protected. Rest assured, I intend to carry on his legacy. Yes, I'll leave it to you. The pair then looked at one another and smiled, remembering the smile of Grievous which both of them had cherished. The next day at the port, Levia saw Admiral off and as he departed on his ship. Take care, and if you get tired of traveling, you're always free to come back. Yeah, if the mode strikes me. As the ship left the harbor, a breeze blew in from the sea. The wind swept through Admiral's ship, lifting a sheet of paper into the air towards Levia. Hey, you dropped something. He called out, but Admiral just smiled, shook his head, and continued out to sea. You're saying you're fine with me having this one sheet of paper. How typical of you, Admiral. Levia lowered his gaze with a wry smile and narrowed his eyes at the drawing on the paper. Oh, this is from Admiral's hat, if I remember correctly. Not bad at all. That moment, something flashed through Levia's mind. That's it. It has to be... After that, a maritime security force would be established in Vestria. It would be called Oceare, a word taken from Grievous' birth name, known only to Levia. At the same time, it meant one who loves the sea. The emblem, which was displayed as a symbol, was designed based on Admiral's drawing. It goes without saying that Levia played a key role in the establishment of Oceare. He would appoint former crew members of Grievous' to the new Oceare. And so that would all honor what Grievous had done in protecting those seas as captain. As Levia etched his name into history as the first supreme commander of Oceare. Wow. Oceare Legends. In Japanese. Alright, that is it for this episode of Crave Saga. And my goodness, I will lower the volume because I need to share my reviews. So this is my first impression. We are in the review section, so this is not final. I am still processing it. Basically, this will just be stuff that shocked me. And of course, it's not, an objective review, so we're not actually analyzing the story carefully. I'm just gonna say my feelings about this story, and in all honesty, for a story that I haven't read at all, I'm actually shocked that I like it. Wait, why did I say that? I mean, the story was honestly surprisingly, it was a unique type of story, right? Because it involved Banryu, right? I thought it was gonna be about Lucero and, what's gonna happen after the punishment, but the focalization decides to make it more on Banryu instead. Very interesting that they chose to do that, especially it kind of makes sense why they showed Banryu in the beginning, and also what he did, and also why this like mystery conflict of like why did Banryu didn't want Lukuro to be fired, even though he didn't play a big role in the story. I think in the previous event, Lukuro did play a very big importance, so we're gonna be reading that one of these days. But yeah, but in terms of this story alone, I think it is quite interesting actually. We went back to the past somehow with no explanation. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be explained in the main story as to why is this happening now, but we don't know for sure. So yeah. The dialogue is still a bit off, honestly. I think Grievous sound a bit off to me. Maybe that's just the way I say things or how I decided his voice, but unless maybe that is how Kusan works, how the language of Kusan was. Actually, no. Wait, no, never mind. Forgot that Grievous did not ever go to Kusan because he lost himself in the ship. So yeah, and they were separated at birth. Which, by the way, how? But yeah, we still need to get to that part of Crave Saga where they explain about how people were born or something. But anyway, I think the story, in terms of its structure, was actually, I think it's the strongest part of the story was definitely its structure and plot. The fact that they couldn't prevent the death of Grievous, as well as the implication of that would definitely affect many timelines. So he had to die, and even Grievous knew that. If you really paid attention on the time when he died, it was kind of clear that to make that dream happen, Oceare had to continue. And after realizing that they're from the future, because he already knows that Oceare is in good hands, his members are in good hands because of Banryu and the Horde. So yeah. So honestly, I love the details in the story about some things about it. There were some funny bits as well, so it was very enjoyable. I'm thinking. Also, I didn't really. Oh my god! You know what's the crazy part about it? I don't know if I've noticed that Boom and Admil kind of have the same art style, so I'm not sure if they are related or not. But maybe it was talked about in the previous episode where Oceare Legends, started. But by far, this deserves a Eureka bonus. This is actually Crave Saga's first Eureka bonus, at least when I'm reading this in my own time. I think that the reason why this deserved the Eureka bonus was because it kind of made it the way how they treated their characters was quite interesting, especially talking about topics that may seem like too out of that may seem out of the scope of this chapter, because it's clear that you have to be familiar with chapter 14 and the previous story to understand the story because there's a lot of lower stuff that happened. But the way they implied it in here, slowly, painting it into a scenario where, okay, this is an instance of magic happening, because it makes you curious of the story, right? And I know I'm kind of stuttering right now because I'm trying to find some words to say, but that is the reason why I'm giving this a Eureka bonus, honestly. It just makes me interested in what's happening, and also the story with Grievous and Levia, and mostly about Kusan. So I am so excited to be reading Kusan next, because after this, we are going to be reading Chapter 5, The Neutral City of Kusan. So, anyways, a 9.8 out of 10 for this event. I end with a Eureka bonus. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Crave Saga. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Anyways, I will see y'all whenever. Bye-bye!